Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. They had biked down to the lake because River and Shelley wanted to show him the old logging mill. It was kind of cool in a Friday the 13th kind of way. It was right by the lake, and they watched the water from a crumbling loading dock. Slowly, a rusty truck sagged into the tall grass. I feel bad that I told your mom about the swimsuit. Shelley said, I hope it doesn't get you in trouble, but it just came out. But you did look cute. River said yes. In any case, she seemed to be fine with it. It looks like your mom is pretty cool about it. When Bobby got home, his mom was on the phone with Mrs. Summers. So you too have seen the pictures. No, I don't see a problem with it. River told me everything, so I shouldn't be worried. In fact, I'd like you to do something very strange. After about a half hour, Bobby's mom hung up the phone. Mrs. Summers was her new boss, and when she told Mrs. Summers what she wanted to do, Mrs. Summers didn't want to say no. Well, Bobby would have to decide for sure. She had said, I guess it would be fine if he wants to. She thought it was impossible that Bobby would agree. She had always made sure he was raised in a normal way. There's baseball, football, and going camping. Since she left his father, things hadn't been easy. Bobby's mother looked at the pictures again and then went to the closet to get the family photo album. She took the most recent one of Bobby out of its case and looked at it next to the ones from the pool. Yes, she thought it was likely that Bobby would think the idea was crazy. River, Shelley, and Bobby sat in Bobby's kitchen an hour later. Mrs. Summers wants to have coffee with us. Shelley, you too. Can you ask your mom to come? They each looked at the other. What's next? They were curious. Bobby wanted to know what was going on. We don't have any problems, do we? His mom told him no. Mrs. Summers is planning something for all the girls and wants to know if you want to join in. All of the girls and moms got invited. There were a lot of cars in River's driveway. All of the girls were there with their mothers, and it only took a few minutes for everyone to say hi to Bobby and his mother. There were many pictures of the girls all over the table. Okay, Mrs. Summers said. Now that we're all here, I have some very exciting news for you all. As Bobby and the girls waited to see what would happen next, she talked to the women. Some of you may already know that Summer Cosmetics is coming out with a new line for teens. It will be called Teen Angel. We've already gotten a huge response from our current customers, and a major teen clothing chain is very interested in carrying the whole line. This is a big deal that will give us a bigger piece of the market in the new century. She paused. Now comes the best part. Since this is all for teenage girls, I thought that instead of getting models from agencies, we could see if any of you girls wanted to model for us. There will be a photo shoot to show our customers what the range looks like. It's not just the makeup, either. The clothing store I told you about is called New York, New York, and they are putting out a collection for the same age group called New Millennium. We will be working closely with them on this, so there may also be a trip down the catwalk. They had stopped talking and were just looking at Mrs. Summers. First, Cindy spoke. Wow, this is so cool. Do we really get to be models? All of the girls joined in, and they were all so excited that it was chaos. Bobby looked at his mother, and she was giving him that strange look again. What was happening? In their excitement, the girls were all hugging each other, and it looked like they had forgotten he was there. He put up his hand. Miss Summers, he spoke. How come I'm here? Oh, sure. Bobby, I almost forgot. It seems like a waste to have all the other people involved just as you are getting to know everyone. I thought you might want to help out with things like running errands and such. She spoke. But when I saw this, I thought of something. Mrs. Summers picked up a picture from the stack on the table. It was a picture of him at the pool party wearing River's swimsuit. Bobby looked very pale. I want you to be a model for us as well. All of a sudden, everyone was quiet, and they all looked at him. I'm a boy, though, he's stuttering. Well, of course you are, but just think about how cool it would be if we could make you look as good as I know all the girls are going to look. He didn't know what to do. I've already talked to your mom about it, but it's up to you to decide. Mom? He spoke. Well, hun, I have to say that when Mrs. Summers told me her idea, I was surprised. But it's up to you. His picture was being shown to everyone. Bobby, come on, River said. She gave him a smile. It would be so cool if all the girls did it, and I know you'd look great. Then Cindy said something. Bobby can't be a model. You're crazy. No one would really believe he was a girl, and it would make us all look stupid. In the fight that followed, Bobby had to defend his right to do it, so she made a bet with him that he wouldn't do it anyway. He just couldn't stop. I'll do it then. Just to see the look on Cindy's face was worth it. The girls went crazy, and he was almost overwhelmed by hugs. It was decided that he would go up to the factory tomorrow afternoon and visit the makeup studio. If he didn't want to, he didn't have to go through with it. His mother was very quiet on the way home. He wasn't sure if what he had done was right. It didn't seem like such a good idea the next day. As he rode his bike up to the factory, it was 2:30. Cindy was right to ask what he was up to. He was going to look stupid. Bobby opened the door to a completely empty salon. No one here then. I can just go home, and at least they can't say I didn't try. He was just turning to leave when someone walked in through the door at the other end of the salon. Hi, come in, Bobby. My name is Yvonne. Bobby thought she looked familiar because she was tall and blonde. Of course, all of this had been said while she was at River's house. Yvonne was the mother of Amber and Jade. She looked like a professional beautician, almost like she had been sprayed on. Her white uniform jacket had the Summer Cosmetics logo above one chest pocket. She wore a knee-length white dress underneath, which made her look like a glamorous lady doctor. By the way, I think it's great that you've agreed to try this. To be honest, I wasn't sure you'd even show up. She had him sit in front of a mirror on a pink salon stool. It was lit up like a scene from a movie. So let's look closely, shall we? Nice hair and skin. It's also in great shape. She made him look in a different direction. Your bones look good too. I think we can really do something here. She gave him a wink and said, It's a long shot, but it could work. Yvonne was interested in how he took care of his hair and if he had ever used any beauty products or had any allergies. Bobby didn't know what to do. To him, the bathroom was just a place to quickly wash up and leave. No wonder his mom hung out there so much. Yvonne got up and went to the opposite end of the salon. Bobby could hear the sound of her heels on the tile floor. Don't worry, honey, I'm not going to turn you into a clown. But if you want to change your mind, now is the time to say so. Bobby thought about the other people in the game. There was no way he would let Cindy win. If you quit now, it would be like giving up. He took a bite. Okay, let's start with a couple of pictures from before. Yvonne took an instant camera out of her bag and took a few pictures. Bobby muttered. Oh no, he thought, not more pictures. So let's get you a towel and then we can start. Bobby could just make out that it was a few minutes after 3 on the clock. What comes first? Yvonne said as she reached for a big jar. Bobby looked at himself in the mirror. Between the cape and the towel, there wasn't much of him that could be seen. She said, Okay, we've washed and put lotion on your skin. Let's clean you up and see what we're really working with. A few of the cotton pads were very dirty. Bobby didn't know where it all came from because he had washed the same way he always did the day before. Right, now the fun starts in earnest. Yvonne smiled and rolled over a cart full of makeup. All of this is from our new Teen Angel collection. We might as well start as we mean to go on. Yvonne seemed to spend a long time picking colors that went well with his skin tone. She talked about everything as she went. It's not that bad, he wondered. Bobby found that he was having fun and started to calm down. He was amazed to see how his face changed. Under the paint and powder, his boyish features were slowly changed. She told him to look up at the ceiling. Okay, stay still. I'm just going to do your eyes. This might feel a little weird. Don't blink no matter what you do. Okay, now look straight ahead. All right. Then as she put lipstick on his lips, she made him move his mouth around like a stunned fish. It was called Morning Sky and was a light pink that could be seen through. Almost done. The towel and cape were taken off by Yvonne. The camera clicked and out came another picture to add to the pile that was growing. How do you feel? She did. Bobby was shocked. That's strange, he answered. It sounds like me, but not. She only smiled. I think you're beautiful. The tone of Yvonne's voice changed. Listen up, Bobby. Being a girl isn't just about hair and makeup, you know. It's everything. Not only on the outside, but also inside. Yvonne put her hand on his chest, near his heart. Do you think that Bobby can do that? Bobby slowly nodded, keeping his eyes on his own image in the mirror. I believe so. Yes. Okay, if you're still ready to go the distance, you'll need more things. He was no longer just a boy who put on makeup. It looked like he was really turning into a girl. He thought this would bother him a lot more than it did. Yvonne had him sit with his fingers spread out while his nails dried. She added acrylic extensions, and in no time they were nearly an inch long and pink. Bobby was still looking in the mirror at his girly face. Okay, now what? He did so. Well, you have enough hair to work with, but since this is just a test, I think we should use a wig this time. Now, I think you'd be beautiful as a bubbly blonde, so let's see. She looked at the line of plastic heads. Yes, this one is it. All right, shut your eyes. Bobby gave the wig a quick look. Oh no, I'll look like a blonde girl, he wondered. He closed his eyes very tight. Yvonne moved around behind him and began skillfully putting on a wig cap. Hey, don't make fun of me, she spoke. She put the wig on, and loose curls of blonde hair fell around his ears and over his shoulders. She stood back to look at what she had done. Okay, she said this as she gave his new hair one last brush. Just a little spray to keep the style, and it's all over. You can look now. She moved out of the way. Oh, Robert, you look great, and that's a picture you'll want to keep. Bobby was shocked to the core. Oh no, not at all. Could this really be him? He looked skinny and had long, honey blonde hair in the mirror. His hair fell over his shoulders in waves that framed his face. In the lights of the salon, it looked like liquid gold on top of his white t-shirt. He slowly turned around and looked at himself in the mirror. Large blue eyes with long lashes sparkled from a perfect face. Smoky blue on the lids made them look even bigger, and just a touch of light blush gave him killer cheekbones. Though the mouth was the clincher, the full lips had a soft pink glow. They would be shocked. He didn't know what his mom would say, though. Cindy just lost her bet, I think. I really do have a girl's face, he said with a grin. She only smiled. Yes, and it's also a very cute one. Bobby was very red under his makeup. Yvonne took the camera back up. Walk up and down for me. I can't wait to see you and everyone else dressed up for the photo shoot, she said. It's sad to see you wearing those old jeans and sneakers. Yvonne clicked her fingers and smiled all of a sudden. Bobby, I've got an idea. She showed him the way to the back door. In a kind of lunchroom, there were bench seats. Okay, take a seat. I'll be right back. She left through a door at the far end of the room. When Yvonne came back, she had a dry cleaning bag and a bunch of boxes in her arms. Here, try these on. They should fit you pretty well. This is one of the uniforms that our beauty school students wear when they come to learn. She put everything next to him on the seat. Right. You get changed. If you need help, just call. Bobby looked through the pile. He saw a pink dress and jacket that were almost the same as the ones Yvonne wore. All of the boxes turned out to have white leather sneakers in them, kind of like the ones his mom wears to do aerobics. Even 2 pairs of white nylons were there. Bobby could hear Yvonne moving around in the main salon where she had gone. He took the dress out of its case and put it up to his chest. Bobby went to a mirror and looked in it. Lots of pictures of women in uniforms just like the one he was holding were pushed into the frame. They were laughing, eating pizza, and looked like they were having a great time. He looked at his very girly face in the mirror and realized that if he wore that outfit, he could easily be mistaken for one of them. He thought, well, I look like a girl, so it might be okay for me to dress like one. Only to check. It was 10 minutes before 5, time to decide. The factory whistle went off at 5 o'clock. Bobby's dress stuck to his nylons as he walked back into the salon, so he had to take much smaller steps than usual. He had found that nylons were much harder to put on than he had thought, especially with long fingernails, but he had finally done it without pulling or tearing a single thread. The second pair he tried on fit him just right. You look wonderful, Yvonne said. I'm still amazed at how normal you look. You look a lot like my 2 daughters, you know? Maybe you should come to class when the students get back from summer break. Okay, then. Your mom is almost done with work, and she said she'd call to see how you're doing. I don't think she'll recognize her son, though. She smiled. In the meantime, you can help me clean up the salon. It will show you how hard we girls have to work around here. She smiled. Bobby looked at himself in a mirror at the salon. He didn't even know himself, let alone his mother. Bobby laughed and looked at the ground. Oh no, he thought to himself. Now I'm even acting like a girl. He cleaned under the chairs while Yvonne set up the makeup cart. When the door opened, he was cleaning out the sink. His mother came in. I want to find my Bobby. Did he come to this place? Where is he? Thanks for watching. Check out Patreon if you want to have early access to the other parts. If not, it will be online in a couple of days.